Welcome to another episode of the INH show, talking about geek culture, news and lifestyle. Today we've got some movie casting news to talk about.
Right, so they've announced this, well we've got a couple of different things, a little bit of DC, a little bit of Marvel, DC.
But mainly DC.
Yeah, so well, look, you're the DC expert here out of the dynamic duo we've got here, so I'll lead it towards... Well, I'm going to ask you more questions about it, and sorry to all the guys out there if I'm asking silly questions. I'm sure they're going to be silly, but
don't worry about that, Boy Wonder. I'll lead you through this.
So, actually, which one do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about the Marvel one? It's going to be short.
Okay, we'll touch on the Marvel one.
Okay, so Doctor Strange. They've
confirmed.
They've finally casted
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, correct. And
now, you think people make fun of his name, Benedict Cumberbatch?
It is a pretty funny name, though.
Pull yourself together, Terrence.
Okay,
we're professionals here.
Focus. All right.
Benedict Cumberbatch, yes.
Look, I'm so sorry.
This is not usable.
No, it's not. We can no.
No. Benedict Cumberbatch. Okay, so he's confirmed. Now, I'm quite happy with it. He's no Keanu Reeves. He was one of the names that was tossed around.
Yes. So look, I would have liked Keanu Reeves as Doctor Strange. That would have been cool. But look, I still think this is a good casting. I don't mind it. I think he still has to look for it.
Actually, he does.
And he's got that mysterious voice as well, that dark. Well, not dark, but that sort of deep sort of. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, he's the voice of Smaug, is he not?
Smaug, yeah.
And is he not the voice in the Star Wars trailer that we talked about last week? Am I reading that wrong?
Might be.
Regardless, he's got the voice.
He's got the voice. He can have the look. I was looking at a picture of him and trying to visualize the goatee.
When I saw those two pictures, I actually thought that he's visually, I believe it. Yeah, put him in a high collared cloak. And
I do hope they update the costume though. I don't like the whole puffy sleeves, the old school Doctor Strange.
Marvel makes it work. They make it work. They make Captain America's costume, work. They showed that in context.
They've updated it, yeah.
And they
I'm sure they will update it.
So Benedict Cumberbatch, I think it's good casting.
Yeah. No.
On a similar note, the Doctor Strange casting, one of the names that came up was Jared Leto. That brings us to our next topic.
Okay, go on.
The next topic, the casting of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So wait, Jared Leto.
You were familiar with this name.
No, we were talking about it before. Who is this guy?
He was something beautiful in that movie Fight Club. I want to destroy something beautiful. The blonde guy. Dallas Buyers Club. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Wait, the blonde guy is the guy who got his ass whooped, right?
Very much so, yes.
Okay, I do remember that scene, and
that was a long time ago, obviously, that movie.
And I didn't realize. I don't
think he was a name at all though. But 30 Seconds to Mars, you heard of that band?
I know of the band.
Okay, well
I don't actively listen to this stuff.
Well, anyway, Jared Leto is going to be the Joker. Now that is big news. The Joker is one of the most well-known villains in all of comicdom. Jared Leto.
I'm just trying to visually look at him. I don't know if you guys can see this. I guess you can pull it off, makeup and everything, So yeah.
Well,
good.
Again, we don't really know the direction they're going to go with this. We don't know how the Joker's going to look. We've heard weirder casting. Heath Ledger. I guess Jack Nicholson's not really weird casting.
Yeah. So with the Heath Ledger one, I mean, he pulled it off.
I didn't really care that it was Heath Ledger, but back then, even though the Joker is a big character, the more I think about the Dark Knight and Joker. It was a very different take. I think they have to go very different with how they cast or how they portray Joker.
Do you reckon they'll have to go back to the more traditional style of the Joker?
I can imagine. Well, I can imagine Jared Leto being, cracking ridiculous jokes and with the maniacal laughter.
Yeah, so sort of similar to the Arkham Asylum games, right?
Yeah,
that's traditional style.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, but that's big news, Jared Leto, and next to that. Will Smith as Deadshot. Now, you know Deadshot.
I know Deadshot.
And you know Will Smith?
He's a sniper, right?
Yeah, he's a gun guy.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what else about Deadshot?
What?
He,
wears a mask?
He wears a mask, but he also is, a man not of color. He's a white guy.
Oh, really?
You knew Deadshot was a white guy. Don't pretend.
I actually don't.
Don't try to make me look. Don't try to make me look like the person who noticed it straight away.
No. I actually did not know that Deadshot's a white guy. Wait, are we talking about Deadshot, the white guy that's in the Arkham Suicide Squad?
Arkham, yeah. That's him.
That's him as well, right? With the goatee. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Why do you call it a goatee? It's a goatee.
Goatee. All right. I'm trying to.
But Will Smith. Okay. Deadshot is a fairly. I don't want to say a low-tier character.
Right.
He's not a household name.
Okay.
But obviously Will Smith is a megastar.
He is a megastar, and he's going to pull it off really well.
Do you think so?
I think so, absolutely.
Deadshot in the comics has a mask, okay? His face is completely covered.
With the...
Yeah, with the target sort of thing. In the Assault on Arkham movie, and I guess in the Arkham games...
He's pretty much open.
Well, yeah, like you can see his face. Now, I'd be interested to see what they do with Will Smith, because it seems odd to me that you would have Will Smith and hide that face.
I mean, if you're paying for a big star like that, you'd want to show it as much as you can, right? So maybe they will do the same thing as they did in the Assault on Arkham.
Yeah, we haven't exposed. Yeah,
everything else is open. It's just
I'm not fully fond of that look, but I think it's fine for Deadshot because again, it's not a character that I'm totally devoted to. Will Smith, but this is big casting. You know, it just stuns me that they're giving these big names.
Yeah.
Next to Will Smith, we got Australia's own Margot Robbie. So stunning Margot Robbie.
Let me ask you this, and I asked you before, but you wanted to save it for filming. Who is she? I mean, I know she's in Wolf on Wall Street. Has she done anything else?
That's pretty much it. Well, she's an Aussie, and I want to say that she's from Neighbours or Home and Away.
Okay.
Someone will correct me, I'm sure.
I'm sure they will. But
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, and we lightly touched on this in one of our early episodes. I mean, she's very cute. And
she's more than that.
She's I said that, and I will still stick by it. I think that's a good casting. I think she will pull off the Harley Quinn, and I think she's got the look for it. That's just my take on it.
I don't know whether she's got the look for it because Harley Quinn's she's not known for being this outrageously hot.
I think she's supposed to be.
Starlet.
I assume she's supposed to be.
Regardless. I think it's nice to see her in a high-profile movie alongside these people. I hope she can hold her own as an actress.
I'm sure she will, but I will ask you this: do you think that they will do the new costume or the old traditional costume where her face is pretty much covered?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they went for the new costume because
I hope not.
With a face like that, why would you hide that under a mask?
Fair enough. All right, let's keep on going. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Bane.
Yes.
He was Bane, but he's not Bane in this, right?
No, he's not Bane. What do you think of that? Yes, I mean, he's some character, Rick Flag or something.
Who the hell's that?
We don't really need to talk about the characters as such.
Okay.
I only say that with all due respect to the Suicide Squad because they're not that well known, and I'm not here to give people a 101.
Okay.
But Rick Flag is, I think it's, from my understanding, and I guess I'm showing how much of a DC... phony I am, but I think it's an alias or it's a identity that many people have assumed. Like there are many Rick Flags.
I have no idea who this character is.
Well, regardless, you know who Tom Hardy is.
Yes,
do you like Tom Hardy?
Yeah,
do you like him?
I do.
I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy. I think he's great.
Nice. Come on.
It was an odd choice. The Bane voice was an odd choice.
Absolutely.
I think it's okay. I have no issues with him being in this movie as a different character. Can you overlook? Now, surely you can overlook it because in Dark Knight Rises,
because the Dark
you never saw you hardly saw his face. His voice is unrecognizable, pretty much.
Absolutely, unrecognizable. That's how he was speaking. Like it's almost slapstick comedy, right?
I'm not arguing. Well, but it worked. It worked in the movie.
It worked.
It was a good movie. Dark Knight Rises was a good movie. If you disagree, say it to my face, Luke.
Luke. I was gonna say But on a serious note, though. Tom Hardy, I'm okay with him playing a different character in the DC universe because the Dark Knight trilogy is a completely different universe. And I just gotta keep on remembering that.
Well, not only that, but it's completely different. He looks different. I assume he's gonna look completely different.
Yep.
So the big thing about Bane in the movie was the voice.
Yep.
And that's a distinctive look.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I think he will look completely different that people won't even know.
Yeah.
But again, Tom Hardy, another big name. Who else do we have?
Who is that? I don't know who she is.
Like Cara Delevingne.
Man, I must be
something or
Delevingne or something.
Yeah,
I looked them up.
Someone tell us how to pronounce that name.
Delevingne.
I only know her because people reference her eyebrows. that she has these big, very prominent eyebrows. Well, she's going to be Enchantress, not to be confused with the Asgardian
Enchantress and the green. Okay, all right. So who's Enchantress?
Well, I will readily admit that I don't know who this Enchantress, who Enchantress is, because Suicide Squad with their rotating roster.
Yeah, I was going to say they change their characters every so often, right?
Because of the nature of the team, yes.
Yeah, but would I be safe to assume that Deadshot has been in there for quite some time, though? He's one of the main...
He's one of the...
lead,
pretty much. When people think Suicide Squad, they think Deadshot.
That's who I visualize as well.
And they don't think Joker, or maybe Harley Quinn, but they don't think Joker, which is quite unusual.
Is Deathstroke in Suicide Squad?
He is not.
Okay.
Well, if he... No... No? I'm just trying to think. There might have been a one-off where they recruited him,
right?
But he's not really a mainstay.
Okay, cool. We're moving on. Next one, another Aussie, right? Jai Courtney.
Yeah, no, I actually don't. I'm not all that familiar with Jai Courtney. Well, you actually know him a bit.
I know his face because I know he's from. Well, he's in the new Terminator Genesis movie.
He's in Die Hard.
Die Hard. Yeah,
which I haven't seen.
Right? Yeah. And I actually got it mixed up. I thought he was in Tron Legacy.
Why would you admit that on film to
all
of our fans?
Let me just say it. And I know... Actually, no, I better not say it. Everyone's going to be like, you're racist. I was going to say, they all look the same to me. No,
all these Aussies, wow.
I was kidding.
Stunning.
I was kidding. But
another Aussie. Now, that's pretty big, isn't it?
It is. 2 Aussies in the film, right?
And, the Aussies have a good record in
the, comic universe?
Yeah, comic universe. Yeah.
I mean, we have Thor.
Yep.
Wolverine.
Yep. And obviously, name escapes me at the moment. Heath Ledger. How could I forget Heath Ledger? So, yes. Aussies in comic book movies are big. I'm not all that familiar with Jai Courtney's body of work. He's an up-and-coming actor. Captain Boomerang. So he's obviously... They're playing to his strengths.
I hope...
Captain Boomerang's an Aussie, so that much you know.
Yeah, of course. And, Boomerang. So, I do hope that he doesn't put on a ridiculously too strong Aussie accent, because every time
he has to play it up.
You reckon? Because see, this is the thing, right? The Aussie accent's not as strong as everyone makes it out to be. But
we don't know that. We don't know that.
For whatever reason, whenever we've seen it on television, it's just it's like it's pumped on steroids. They have to dial it up,
yeah. And I can understand
think they should do that.
No, I think it's fine. But the thing is, he's an Aussie.
Yeah.
So I think he'll know how to rein it in. I think he'll know how to play it up to the point where
it's not overpoweringly
people
stupid.
Hear it and they'll think, oh, he's definitely an Australian.
Fair. Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah, but that's pretty big news. There are some pretty big names there. There are Academy Award winners on that list. This is almost like, Marvel are fond of casting maybe lesser known actors.
Yeah, right.
Well, here at DC are casting fairly big names.
Let me ask you, are you worried?
Slightly worried.
Because track record wise, DC hasn't done the film, like the feature film, in a really well sort of.
Unfortunately, not. So, and I am biased, obviously, and I will stand up for the Dark Knight Rises. But yes, DC films which don't have Batman in it are usually a little bit weak.
Okay.
I think the problem, or my fear, is that there's going to be a lot of expectation on this movie based on the cast. The Suicide Squad is such a weird movie, though, like that, and that is also
it's not an A-list team, right?
Well, not only is it not an A-list team, but the nature of this, like the Suicide Squad, like
I think they can do something cool out of it, though. If you think about it, I think they're trying to do the whole anti-hero.
It's not exactly a mainstream book, though. I mean, like, there's violence. There is if you saw the Assault on Arkham, and I highly recommend you watch it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you watch it, Luke. You'll see that it's not a kids' movie at all.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Well, there you go.
I guess that's
Suicide Squad casting.
What are your thoughts? Let us know, please. Is the castings to your liking? Is it not? Are you worried? I mean, I'm personally worried.
Because it's DC.
Because it's DC and they haven't not got that formula right so far. But let us know, comment on the blog below, and I guess we'll wrap it up, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.